That's a bit hot. I might wait a bit. What is going on, everybody? It is a beautiful rainy day today, so I thought, well, heck, I may as well film, right? This is going to be a video that I kind of chit chat a lot, so if you don't like those kinds of videos, go and grab yourself a beverage. It can be coffee, alcohol, whatever you feel you need right now. Mine is coffee. My fitness journey. So my hair is now up. I was just doing my head in and I hated it. Yeah, I got a Planet Fitness membership when I was 16, I think. When I actually went to school, I'd go to the gym beforehand and I would run on a treadmill for about 40 minutes and that's it. I remember the guy from Planet Fitness actually showing me, he was like, okay, so here's all the treadmills, all the cardio equipment, and then over here is, this is a leg press, and he showed me a leg press, and he showed me one ab machine, and then I was like, amazing. So all I have to do is run for 40 minutes, use this leg press and this ab machine, and I'm gonna be like, all my problems were solved, right? I hated it. I hated every second of that cardio. I hated every second of it. Like, I dreaded going, and that's not what it is supposed to be at all. So I will insert a picture just here of what I actually looked like, what my body looked like at this age. I think I still have photos. I used to take photos of myself all the time and try and like see differences and changes, which is good. But I was taking them and like getting angry that there was nothing changing because I thought it would happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. Don't think that you can do it in 60 days, okay? It's not gonna be maintainable if you do it in that time, that's for sure. Okay, so because I hated Planet Fitness so much, I eventually stopped going because I met a boy. Fun times. So basically I was studying, I was going to TAFE, and I met a boy, and then goodbye gym membership. I just didn't care. I was like, nah, I don't need to exercise. One thing that I have learned in life is that you don't ever let a boy ruin your goals that you have for yourself, especially if that boy ain't shit. After that relationship ended, I was like, meh. So a few months, years, whatever went on, and I met another boy who I dated for a while, and he kind of introduced me into weightlifting. I started going, it was like a YMCA or something like that, and it was a good gym, but yeah, I would just work out with him and he would show me. It was just a lot of back, a lot of arms, chest and stuff like that. Yeah, back then it was all very like upper body focused. Time went by working out with him and I literally became obsessed with weightlifting. I started researching, I started learning, I started watching people, learning from other people, and I found that I love training legs, right? I saw Nikki Blackadder and I was like, I want that butt. I was like, I need a butt like that. I want that butt. I need her butt. I wanted a butt. So I kind of taught myself how to do leg workouts. I would watch people on YouTube. I was doing a few guides at the time. I was trying Kayla Itsina's guide, which is like basically all HIIT training and ridiculous amount of reps, and I just hated that, so I didn't stick to it. And I was just learning basically. This is where I learned all the things that I enjoyed. This is where I was like trying to do things that worked for other people but didn't necessarily work for me, and I think that we all go through that phase, and it is crucial that we do because it is just how we learn it. You have to learn fitness just how you learn anything. Like, you learn how to drive, like you have to learn how to eat right, you have to learn how to exercise, but you have to learn how it works and what to do for yourself. I turned 18 and then that relationship ended. Very lost. I was very depressed and I kind of lost my groove a little bit. I didn't really know what to do. 2 weeks went by and I wasn't going to the gym. I was going clubbing, I was partying, all the things you do when you go through a breakup. So I was drinking a lot. I just didn't really care about myself anymore. I was kind of depressed, and it was self-destructive behavior, which now I look back on and I notice. No breakup is easy. I mean, maybe some of them are, but no breakup that I've ever been through has been easy. Because I think I learned so much within this relationship, it was hard for me to come out of it because I was very dependent on this person and very dependent on my time with this person. So I just didn't know what to do with myself, and I was out partying and drinking and running around with different people. It was just that time of my life where I was just lost and doing what anyone does after a breakup. And I did have fun, but I wasn't happy. Also at this time is when I met my best friend. I met her and we just clicked straight away. We started training together. She went to Genesis, I went to Genesis with her. I'm so grateful to her for being there for me and helping me get my groove back. I learned that I didn't need to be dependent on somebody. She has been a big influence in my fitness journey. She taught me a lot of exercises. She taught me a lot about diet and nutrition, which is kind of the part that I was lacking. I tried counting macros and all that, but nothing worked for me. I couldn't stick to anything. I was yo-yo dieter 101, like yo-yo dieting, man. If you don't know what it means, look it up. You've probably done it. You're probably doing it. I wouldn't miss a day, okay? We trained every day for like a solid year. I remember waking up on Christmas. I trained on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I was in the gym by myself training. I remember listening to Justin Bieber's new album, like just training. Like I mean, I was doing boxing classes, yoga classes. I was really enjoying classes. I was doing a lot of HIIT. I think I tried Tammy Hembro's guide. I tried Kaylee Tsina's guide, and I think that it got to a point where I was like, none of them, I couldn't stick to any of them. And I was also like, I can just be my own guide. I reached a point where I didn't need a guide anymore, and I was just getting frustrated trying to follow them because I didn't enjoy what they were. Because in those guides, that's what works for someone else. Like someone else literally made that and that's what worked for them, but it doesn't mean that's gonna work for you. So I think if you are trying to follow a guide that you're just not able to stick to, don't get confused and angry and frustrated, because that's fine. Like if it's not working, some of them have great information. If it works for you, that's great. I'm not bagging out guides. I personally didn't find any success using them. I just am not very good at following instruction of other people. I just remember opening all my Christmas presents in the morning, and then I remember coming out and like ready to go to the gym, and my family was just looking at me like, I was just like, I have to go, you don't get it. Yeah, I actually genuinely feel like I was addicted to the gym at that stage in my life. At this stage, I was just doing what I felt like. Sorry for any background noise like chickens, dogs, lawnmowers. There's a lot happening on the farm today, so if you like a farm tour, just let me know and I can do one of those for you, because I got way too many animals. Got a membership at just a local gym that was near my house called iGym. I loved every second of it. I kept going. It's actually where I met my fiance, which is awesome. He was my gym crush, so dreams do come true, everybody. I was just training a lot of legs. I was pretty consistent with it, but I was not really eating right, and I was eating like what I thought was right. I was eating turkey mince, rice and broccoli, and like forcing myself to eat that. My mental approach was still not right. This is why I still wasn't seeing results that I wanted to see, and also because I was still growing. You have to remember, if you are trying to get fit and you are younger, you have to remember that your body doesn't fully develop until you're like a little bit older. Like me, just now is when I'm at 21, turning 22 is where I'm starting to see results from all those years of training. And I've just tweaked a few things that work for me to see that. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Just keep working on it. Keep going to the gym. I promise it will pay off eventually, but it takes time. Time. It takes so much time and so much perseverance, but it's very rewarding when it pays off. You start seeing muscles you've never seen before. Hang in there. I know it's rough. I know it takes a long time, but if you're putting the work in, you will get it. Just remember that it's not gonna happen in a year, especially when you're younger, starting off. Just remember that. When me and my boyfriend met, we went through that phase where we were eating KFC. We would eat a lot of bad food and just like that phase in your relationship where you just eat everything inside, basically. So we put on a little bit of weight. Yeah, we put on a bit of like new couple weight. It was the heaviest that I had ever been, and honestly I was freaking out. I freaked out because I had gained a bit of fluff, and I was trying to count macros, I was trying to restrict myself, I was trying to do all this stuff, I was trying to do more cardio, and I hated it and was miserable the whole time. But because I thought that's what I had to do, I was doing it, and I was just freaking out, and I was unhappy, and I was miserable. So I was training, but I was angrily training. I was training for the wrong reason. I was training to change myself because I disliked myself. And that is not why you should be training. You should be training because it helps your mental state, helps you be a better person, helps you for your future, to be healthier, to be better, to be stronger, to have something that you enjoy doing, to have time for yourself. It's just silly. You need to be training for the right reasons for you to start actually enjoying it. A little while after that, I actually became a vegetarian. I am more pescatarian these days. Yeah, I became a vegetarian because my best friend was a vegetarian, so she kind of taught me her ways. I'm not saying that this is what you should do to lose weight. After about 6 months of eating vegetarian, plant-based, no KFC, I was eating extremely clean, whole food, hardly any sugar at all. The weight that I had gained went away, and I realized that there was muscle under there, and I was super happy. Started to see like my stomach had some definition, and my arms had definition, and I could see definition is basically what I'm saying. Like I leaned out. So in a way at the time I freaked out, but it was actually a blessing in disguise that I gained a bit of weight because it allowed me to build muscle underneath. I now found a perfect little balance of the right foods that I'm supposed to eat. As life goes, I was doing bar work. I did bar work for about 2 years in different bars, but at this time I found it pretty much impossible to live a healthy lifestyle. Okay, I was going off non-existent sleep pattern, long shifts in bars in the middle of the night. I wasn't able to train the way that I used to, and it frustrated me so much because it's what I was kind of having to put my favorite thing in the back seat of my life because I needed to earn money. If you are in a job that is mentally draining you to a point where you are just depressed, get out of that job. I know it feels very concrete, but the sooner that you do what makes you happy, the sooner the ball starts rolling, okay? And now the ball stopped rolling for me for those 2 years because I couldn't mentally cope with the work that I was doing. You're constantly surrounded. I was drinking alcohol all the time. I was not sleeping when I was supposed to be sleeping, and it was just, I stopped doing bar work, and I had kind of stopped going to the gym as well because I just never had the mental energy to push myself to do it. I just couldn't. I was very, and I was just depressed. I didn't feel like myself for a long time, and I didn't feel like myself for a very long time. And the sooner that I got myself out of that situation, the better I started feeling. So then my boyfriend was training at Anytime. I like to travel to different gyms just to switch it up a little bit sometimes because I get kind of bored training in the same place. There are a lot of Anytime fitnesses. It's all over the world. So I like to do that when I'm kind of getting over one gym or working out at one gym. I switch and I go to the other, and it's great. Then, so it kind of brings me to where we are. I had to really spend a lot of time doing a lot of self-care. I still am. I mentioned on my Instagram that I've been struggling with a hormonal imbalance. So that has been just rough on my mental health, and there's just been a lot going on in my life. So I did have to take baby steps to really build myself back up to be able to go to the gym consistently. Sometimes I have days off. It's fine. It's about bringing yourself back to it over and over and over and over again. It's not about doing the whole thing perfectly your whole life. All those little bits in between add up. Okay, so I do have a few questions that you guys asked me on Instagram, so we are gonna answer them. First one, how did you get to a point where you started to enjoy exercise? So that is a good question. I think I really started to actually enjoy it and want to do it when I was doing it for the right reasons. I think if you're doing it for your mental state and not your physical appearance, then you will start to enjoy exercise. The next one says, what supplements are you currently taking? So I use BCAAs, protein powder, and pre-workout. That's all I need. That's all I really want. How often do you train legs? I get that one a lot. I train legs 3-4 times a week, depending on how sore I am. So that is going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching it. I appreciate it. I hope this video helped one of you at least. I hope you guys have an awesome day, night, evening, morning, lunchtime. Like always, leave a comment, any questions, let me know. I'll leave all my socials down below, so just like go check me out on there, message me on Instagram, comment on this video. You know the drill, I don't have to tell you. I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye, bye, bye.